Hi everyone, this is Dave, the Abstract Investor. My disclaimer is up on the screen there. Please take the time to read it. And I just wanted to let everyone know that this video is going to be a little bit different. I want to discuss a bit of monetary policy today. So I've been listening to The Uneducated Economist, and he puts out some amazing content related to monetary policy in the United States. And I can see his teachings in my charting, especially around the S&P 500 and real estate charts. If you're not subscribed to him, check out his channel and subscribe to it. He also has a $1 per month premium membership for even more of his thoughts. He digs a little deeper into monetary policy and speeches on that premium membership. After listening to most of his videos, I figured it only made sense for me to review the monetary policy reports in Canada because this is where I live. And Canada kind of seems to be the United States' little brother. We get ignored most of the time, but we tend to look up and follow what the United States does. So today I'll read from monetary policy reports from the first page of two separate reports so you can see how they differ regarding the Bank of Canada's inflation control strategy. And if you're familiar with ironic and misleading government and banking titles, you'll likely see the misdirection in the title Canada's Inflation Control Strategy by the time I'm done reviewing what I'm going to review. So let's get into the first one here. This is from October of 2021. And I'm just going to zoom in so people can read this a little better if they want to read it on their screens. So Canada's inflation control strategy. Again, this is from October 27th, 2021. So I'm going to read the first paragraph here, and or the first few paragraphs here on inflation targeting and the economy. And then I'm going to go to the very next quarter's report, which happens to be in 2022, and I'll show you and read what the difference is there. So for this one, October 2021, the bank's mandate is to conduct monetary policy to promote the economic and financial well-being of Canadians. Canada's experience with inflation targeting since 1991 has shown that the best way to foster confidence in the value of money and to contribute to sustained economic growth, employment gains, and improved living standards is by keeping inflation low, stable, and predictable. In 2016, the government and the Bank of Canada renewed Canada's inflation control target for a further 5-year period, ending December 31st, 2021. The target, as measured by the rate of inflation of the Consumer Price Index, remains at the 2% midpoint of the control range of 1 to 3%. So that's from October 2021. This next report is from January 2022. And you can see, again, Canada's inflation control strategy. It's the same first page, but this first group of paragraphs has gone from 3 to 5, and there's some differences here. So, inflation targeting and the economy. The objective of Canada's monetary policy is to promote the economic and financial well-being of Canadians. Canada's experience with inflation targeting since 1991 has shown that the best way that monetary policy can achieve this goal is by maintaining a low and stable inflation environment. Doing so fosters confidence in the value of money and contributes to sustained economic growth, a strong and inclusive labor market, and improved living standards. In 2021, the Government of Canada and the Bank of Canada renewed the Flexible Inflation Targeting Framework for a further 5-year period ending December 31st, 2026. The inflation target was renewed at the 2% midpoint of the 1% to 3% control range, with inflation measured as the 12-month rate of change in the Consumer Price Index. So you can see here in these first 3 paragraphs, all of a sudden we have a notification of, in 2021, the Government of Canada and Bank of Canada renewed the Flexible Inflation Targeting Framework for a further 5-year period ending in December 2026 at the end of the year. The government and the bank agreed that the best contribution monetary policy can make to the economic and financial well-being of Canadians is to continue to focus on price stability. So they're not saying that they want prices to come down or even return to what they were before. They're just saying they want price stability. The government and the bank also agreed that monetary policy should continue to support maximum sustainable employment, recognizing that maximum sustainable employment is not directly measurable and is determined largely by non-monetary factors that can change through time. So to me, that really sounds like a moving target that you don't actually even know what you're shooting at. I'm going to read that again. The government and the bank also agreed that monetary policy should continue to support maximum sustainable employment, recognizing that maximum sustainable employment is not directly measurable and it is determined largely by non-monetary factors that can change through time. Like, what does that even mean? Further, the government and the bank agreed that because well-anchored inflation expectations are critical to achieving both price stability and maximum sustainable employment, the primary objective of monetary policy is to maintain low, stable inflation over time. So, again, this is just the first paragraph of this first page. In future videos, I'll go through the other paragraphs and highlight some of the additions as well. But really, when we look at what's different in this first section, inflation targeting in the economy, from 2021 to 2022, the Monetary Policy Report states that the Government of Canada and the Bank of Canada renewed the Flexible Inflation Targeting Framework. So flexible inflation targeting. So this means that they don't actually have a 2% target like everybody talks about in the general media. They can keep it up closer to the 3% range. And really, that's likely where it is right now. This actually, in my opinion, they want inflation, but they just want it to be less obvious. They don't want people to see every single thing that they purchase in their lives to be going up in price. But if people are seeing that, they want it to at least be less noticeable. So basically, we still want you to have all of these prices increasing over time, but we just want it to be less noticeable. So we utilize the flexible inflation targeting, and can choose where we're at between the 1% and 3%, and they can keep it higher for longer if that's really what they need. So again, in Canada, we've had two 25 basis point cuts this year. The US hasn't had any yet. I'm not too sure if they're going to cut in September. I don't think anybody actually knows other than the Fed themselves. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if they don't. I don't understand why they would in the US actually, because they can still squeeze the consumer right now. They just want the squeeze to be less noticeable, but they're shooting to achieve the same thing of stable pricing. And that's another way of basically saying we don't care about the prices being elevated. We just need them to stabilize so they're less the impact is less obvious to consumers. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that stuff. I hope you guys liked a different style of video, and if you did, please let me know in the comments. And again, go check out the Uneducated Economist, and give his channel a subscription if you haven't already. Thanks.